Yeah, well, good morning, everybody, for Monday, the 1st of May. Um, I'm afraid with the turn of the month, it doesn't really bring particularly much better soaring weather. There is some chance this afternoon, but there's nothing particularly outstanding. It's pretty amazing, really. This spring has either delivered epic days for like 24 hours or, on the whole, some really dull weather. What we've got at the moment is some sort of slack area of weather, but still under sort of low pressure control, probably just sitting around 10 or 15 or so. And you can see there's fronts up to the north of us, which are sort of sliding about. They're not having too much effect, but there is a trough line which may well influence us during the day. It shows it off the coast into the Netherlands by sort of lunchtime, but there will probably still be showery remnants throughout quite a bit of today. Looking out into the Atlantic, you can see there that there is a fair amount of activity, nothing particularly deep, but it does look like it's going to still remain fairly unsettled with occasional periods of good soaring, and I really do mean occasional. Winds come around to the northwest now. We're going to have probably a day or two of northwesterlies. Generally a better direction for soaring from Lasham. Looking here, 310 to 320, around 15 knots at flying heights, probably 10 knots on the ground. Satellite picture of the UK shows a fairly cloudy start. We've got a fair amount of low cloud currently at Lasham, and that picture is sort of remaining for most of the day initially. Lunchtime onwards, should see it brighten up with some gaps coming through, but where those gaps form, there will probably be some showers. Nothing really too much to speak about currently, but yeah, over Wales and into the Cotswolds, that's where the breaks in the cloud are currently. But over us currently does look that like it's a little bit drab. Your public forecast for today then shows 15 to 16 degrees to be your top temperature, but northwesterly wind and relatively good visibility for today. Nicer towards the latter part of the day, showers die down and should be a nice evening. And as you look through this week, yeah, nothing particularly outstanding. Does look even a little bit showery for the coronation, but it's remaining fairly dry, I'd say, for most of the week. I just think aside from the odd shower. GFS is fairly consistent with this 15 to 16, maybe 17 degrees in the capital, and dew points sat at around sort of 9 degrees or so. That's for mid-afternoon. So once we've actually hopefully got some heating and some mixing, and we've actually got some convection going, very much at the moment, humidity is quite high and the cloud base is quite low. OGM are currently reporting scattered at 700, overcast at 6,300. I reckon it's probably a bit more overcast, lower than that at Lasham. And Farnborough sort of showing that trend by saying broken at 1,100, with a temperature of 12, dew point of 9. And you can see there in the TAF that hopefully by 11 o'clock we'll see scattered at 3,000 feet. But this afternoon, that outside chance of a shower, I think we might pick one up at some point, but yeah, whether it's thunderstorm or not, we'll have to see. Picture outside currently is that looking again fairly drab, bit less hazy than yesterday at least. Temperature of 10, dew point of 8 currently on the airfield, and David's just done an update to his forecast. I think the interesting bit for you is the fact that yeah, 2.5 to 3,000 feet, maybe a little bit more, with a lot of spread out and potential shower activity. But yeah, the chance of some marginal cross country today, and better, I think, tomorrow. Looking at that, but it's certainly going to be tricky this week. Top meteo then is probably the pessimistic one that shows out to our west around 2 o'clock. There being a soarable window around here, a cloud base of around 3,000 feet above Lasham. Out to the west, maybe 3,500 feet. Sort of, yeah, just sort of having to stretch to get to better air, but the better air isn't particularly good in comparison to normal UK conditions. Wales is actually looking quite reasonable and near Usk, but yeah, that is really a stretch. And as you can see, maybe later this afternoon, the cloud amounts will reduce a little bit and allow a bit more heating to get to the ground. It does look like this morning will be fairly low cloud and probably very little soaring, but this afternoon does look like with some spread out in there, there is that opportunity. Site forecast then for Lasham indicates weak climbs to 3,000 feet with the outside chance of a shower this afternoon. And yeah, temperature 15 degrees. The freezing level is above 5,000 at last. Not that you'll be getting there today. Sky sight, I think it's a little bit more sort of on the realistic side than pessimistic. Sort of weak climbs in our area, maybe 1 to 2 knots, with showers probably showing a little bit more shower activity, but near us probably 3,000, 2.5 to 3,000 foot cloud base at best. And this afternoon, perhaps drying out, might see 3,500 feet in isolated spots, but tricky. And if I show cross-country speed, yeah, I mean, it's all in the Farnborough space, which is fairly standard. Your point SQT then at 4:30, which is probably the most soarable part of the day. 15 degrees gives us a lot of cloud at around 3,000 to 3,500 feet. And as you can see, there's not much of an inversion, so it doesn't take too much heating for the showers to get a little bit taller, but nothing mega. But you might see cloud tops to sort of 10 to 15,000 feet or so. We'll just have to see how that develops during the day. It's probably not particularly soarable enough for a convergence, and that is correct. And overdevelopment is probably quite high today, yeah. And where the gaps are, probably where the shower dead areas are due to the showers. So yeah, but at least it's not blue. Okay, so yeah, finally for Lasham, site forecast for the top meteo shows weak climbs up to, yeah, about 3,000 feet for most of the day, and cross-country potential in a limited area. So yeah, Bank Holiday Monday, well, at least it's not raining, but it could deliver us a lot better, put it that way. Airspace wise, looking at, oh, that's a big one. Yeah, it's because the military haven't and CA haven't NOTAM something properly. 23 doesn't matter at the moment. 14 is high intensity radioactivity. And other one, Salisbury Plain, as per the AIP, don't think there's too much in the way of anything unusual, but there's lots of paragliding activity in that area. And just a reminder that Kieval will become a temporary danger area, or not temporary, a NOTAMed danger area from about a week's time or so. So just keep an eye on the NOTAMs for that. But yeah, 22, 19 and 18 are all NOTAMs which are not relevant, but yeah, do check if you're going anywhere in particular. Okay, operation today, we are runway 27. We will have gliders on the grass and cables with the winch about here, and air towing from the runway. Just waiting for an EasyJet A320 to get airborne from Milan, Italy. That will sort of determine what time we get to start going flying. But if you get the kit out and ready, then we'll make a decision on what's likely to happen. Bye for now.